Alright. Oh, that was a disaster. Alright. So basically, this is Phred's cool Punch-Out 2 Turbo. It's a ROM hack created by Master Phred. It's a very fun ROM hack, in fact. It's very fun. So, a bit about this game. It is basically a PAL Punch-Out ROM hack that you apply to a NTSC Mike Tyson's Punch-Out ROM. So you can see here, you can see all the fighters you're going to be going up against. Credits. Few there: Disco Kid, Lisa Hick, Doc Lewis, Jeo Knight, Zelda, Ken Barryhill, Rick and Nick Bruiser, SW7 Destroyer, and the Legend Ghost FAS. What's that clicking noise? Oh yeah, that's a good question. The clicking noise is either this, my keyboard, or this. That is because the hinge on my laptop is broken and is literally hanging. And when I jiggle my laptop a little bit, this plastic bit likes to click. So yeah, that's what that clicking noise is always, because one of the hinges is broken. Like the screen is literally hanging off. Alright. Ermac Cornbuckle is not a character in this game. That sounds lovely. Just tapping that hinge. Alright. So basically the controls for this game are exactly the same. Left dodge is left dodge, right is right dodge. You can duck, hit in the face, both sides, and punch in the gut. All the damage values are also the same. So that does 5, that does 5, that does 4. Oh, come on, Disco Kid, Cooperator. And that does 5. So yeah, that's pretty much this game in a nutshell. Also, these values up here: 96 health up for the left health bar. That's max health. 96 is your opponent's health on the right health bar. Over here are your stars in reserve, and over here are your hearts or the trees. I like to call them trees. Everyone calls them trees for this game. So also, when you punch, you'll notice here a damage value will come up. That's how much damage your last punch did to your opponent. I don't know if it displays zeros, like if I just a few blocks. No, it doesn't display anything if he blocks. So that's basically that in a nutshell. Alright. You'll also notice this game plays slightly faster than when you play the game. You'll notice it plays slightly faster than Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, which is another fun. Look how fast you can punch with Mac. These aren't even rapid punches. I'll show you what rapid punches look like. Regular and rapid punches. I can show it on this guy here. So this is regular punches, and this is rapid punches. What they go extremely fast. Alright, let's just get on with this tutorial, I reckon. So we're going to reset the game and hit start on new game. So Ken Barryhill, this guy kind of looks like he could be a Glass Joe, but he's not actually a reskin of Glass Joe. He's actually a reskin of Don Flamenco 1. So a few facts about Don Flamenco 1 is that star punches always do 96 damage to him. And another thing about Don Flamenco 1 is that if you knock him down twice before 1 minute, and you have not taken any damage, he'll get KO'd. And that's the same for this guy. And luckily, the Master Phred was nice enough to give us 2 stars at the beginning of every fight in this game. Every single fight you start with 2 stars. So what are we going to do? We're just going to buffer the start button. And that's phase 1. That's phase 1 down. And you know what? For phase 2, we're going to hold start again. And that's a KO. And you get a world record time. This fight is probably the easiest fight in any Punch-Out, ROM hack, or official title ever. I mean, you buffer start twice, and then you win the fight, and you get a world record time. I don't think there's anything else to say about that fight. In fact, it's probably, I think it's the one of only 2 fights you win by KO in this game. Yes. Yeah, I think this is the only other fight is against the King Hippo of this game, where you win by KO. Alright, we can just go on to the second fight here, because that fight is a piece of cake. This girl rather, Lisa Hick, she is a reskinning and reprogramming of Von Kaiser. You could hold start twice. Of course you can, Dave. I mean, if you cannot beat Glass Joe, just start this game, and then you can beat the first guy of this game. So Lisa Hick is a reskinning of Von Kaiser. A few facts about Von Kaiser is that once you stun Von Kaiser, dodge one of Von Kaiser's punches, then counter punch. That's called a stun. And then when you use a star punch when Von Kaiser is stunned, that automatically does 96 damage, and you get a knockdown. So that's also the same for Lisa Hick here. So we're just gonna start the fight and wait for Lisa Hick to punch. Not too difficult. We're just gonna wait for her to punch, and then counter punch, star punch, down. Alright, so here, phase 2, you'll notice that Lisa Hick got up on a 1 count. Now, anytime a fighter in this game gets up on a 1 count, or even in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, every time a fighter gets up on a 1 count, your next star punch, if it lands, it'll do 96 damage, and they will hit the floor. They'll get knocked down from it. So we're just going to buffer start for phase 2 as well. So phase 3 is going to start here. Lisa Hick has 16 health. So what we're going to do is just buffer face punch, hold start for a KO. Easy fight. Easy fight. You should get under 18 seconds even without quick dodges. If you really want to optimize this fight, I'll show you a strat here. Here, alright. So what you want to do is you want to duck under this first punch. And it's quite difficult to time. Yeah, it did 48. Yeah, the Lewis script only shows a maximum of how much health they actually have left. Like if I got... Oops. It only displays... Yeah. So yeah, it only displays a maximum of how much health they have. Like if she had... Like here, if I go... Like here, I'll just speed this up. So that does 96. But this will only show 16 here. But it does 96 damage. Well, it probably does infinite damage, but 96 is the maximum. Anyway. So here you want to duck under this first punch. It's quite difficult to time if you're... So that wasn't fast enough. If you want to time this, you want to duck under that punch to save every frame you can. So a good strategy you can use to time this duck out properly is do two right is begin the fight holding right, and you're gonna do two right dodges and then wait a fraction of a second and then duck. So we're gonna try that one out. I didn't wait long enough there, so you have to wait a little bit. You do have to wait a little bit. That should be good. So then you just proceed the fight normally. If you want to optimize that fight, that duck is pretty necessary. The fastest time for this fight is a 16.97, and the second fastest time you can get is a 17. Oh, that wasn't fast enough, but a 17.00. As far as I know, you cannot get a 16.99. I've never got a 16.99 for whatever reason. Let's try and get a 16.97. Just to show it's possible. This strat was found by Zalad before I found it. I didn't see him find it, but he found it like a day before I found it. Oh. And I'm not concentrating, and I just whiffed on that. I was holding start. I thought I was in phase 2, but I was in phase 3. This is probably going to be a 17 flat. This one here. So this fight, the first two fights in this game, there's no variation at all in them. It's 100% straightforward. Alright, we got a 16.97. So we're on equal world record pace. In fact, you'd be ahead of the TAS for this game. You'd be ahead of the TAS. There's only one complete TAS of this game, and it's by Adelicat. I don't know how to pronounce it. But he got a, think from memory, a 17.25. It was he was using a different strat. I don't think he completely was looking to optimize the game. It was kind of just a fun task he was doing. So anyway, we're up to the third fight. Now this fight here, Jeo Knight number 1. Jeo Knight, this is the first time you fight this guy. He's basically Piston Honda 1. I have a save state for him, don't I? Yes, I do. Alright, so we're gonna begin this fight here. Similarly to Piston Honda 1, we're going to begin the fight holding up. Adelicat. Is it Adelicat? Wait, are you telling me how to pronounce it or how I am pronouncing it incorrectly? So, anyway. So we're going to begin the fight holding up. And we're going to land 3 right gut punches. 3 right gut punches. There we go. And then buffer start twice. You'll notice that both of those stars did 20 damage, which is the maximum you can do against this guy. So the beginning of this fight is going to start the exact same way every single time. Every time you're going to just raise his guard, land 3 right gut punches. And then buffer start twice. If you do 3 left gut punches, you'll notice something. If I cut it really close, but it's quite difficult to do. In fact, I can't do it right now. There we go. Alright, that did 20 damage. I'll show you. I promise you can get it to do not max damage. I promise. If you do it really fast. There, 13 damage, and then 12 damage. That is not good. If you do 3 right gut punches, you should get 20 damage on both punches every single time. So after those 3 gut punches, there are, let me count, there are 4 variations that this guy can do. 4 different things he can do. He can either throw a hook straight away, or So let's look at them. Let's try and find them all. So alright, so that one, he just stood there. That's probably, so yeah, he just stood there. That's probably one of the least likely ones he can do. Except this is an emulator and he likes doing the same thing every single time now, isn't he? Yeah, he's gonna do this. Yeah, he's gonna do the same thing every time. Let's try and change the RNG up, because there are other things he can do. Geez, trying to save all the frames in this game is tough. Alright, he's just gonna stand there because he's an actual absolute jerk, isn't he? Alright, there we go, immediate hook. So when you get the immediate hook, you're gonna want to dodge that. As soon as you see hook, you're like, alright, what do I gotta do? I gotta dodge it, and I'm gonna punch him in the face twice. And then you're gonna buffer a star punch. In fact, you just buffer 2 star punches and then he's down. That's the fastest phase 1 you can get. That's relatively safe. So you're just gonna raise guard, 3 gut punches, 2 star punches, punch in the face twice, 2 star punches, and you get a 21. So that's the fastest phase 1 he can give you. It's also the most likely from from when, I don't know, it seems to be the most likely when I do runs, but sometimes you can just get, time after time, he can just give you the worst pattern over and over again. Alright, let's look at some other patterns he can give for phase 1. So so you start this fight off 3 guts, 2 star punches. Alright, he just stands there. When he just stands there, if you want to take it safe, the way to handle that is just wait. Just wait until he punches. Alright, well, he hooked now. But I wanted to stand there to show the point I'm trying to make. Alright, so you're just gonna wait, dodge, punch, wait for him to do it again, and you get a 29, so it's about 8 seconds slower. So you're just gonna wait for him to punch twice, and then counter each one once. Let's see if there's one other thing he can do, but it's the most rare thing he can do, and I'm trying to get him to do it, but I don't know if he wants to do it. Which is the, I call it the body shake uppercut. Which is kind of when he ducks down, shakes his body like 4 times. And then does an uppercut. It's probably the most rare thing he can do. But he clearly doesn't want to do it right now. Actually, let me try and change this phase 1 up a bit. Let's try and get him to do it. He's not having any of it. Alright, so anyway, when he does the body shake uppercut, please do it. Just do it! Just do it once. He's never gonna do it. He's not going to do it for me, is he? The troubles of emulator. I don't know, this game, manipulating the RNG off a save state is like incredibly hard. They just don't want to do it. Let's see if we can try and get him to do it here. There we go. So you're just going to handle that, and you pretty much handle it the same way as the fast hook. You dodge it, counter twice, and then 2 star punches. Easy every time. Let's see if he does it again. Nope. Just so I can show it again. Alright, he's not going to do it. Alright. Let's just... yeah, I did that alright. Alright. So we're going to just get to phase 2 here. Alright, there we go. So you get 20. You can get a 23 with that. With the long delay, you get a 29, and with the fast hook, you can get a 21. If you noticed here, Jeo Knight got up on a 1 count. What happens when a fighter gets up on a 1 count? You just hold start, and they're going back down to the mat. Here, you see here, Jeo Knight is his next health refill 56. This is a random refill he can get. He can either get a 56 or a 48. The way you handle a 56 refill is you're going to hold up and B. Hold up, sorry, and then just land 3 gutters, and then a quick face jab like that. It's kind of difficult. Did I? I didn't make a save state, did I? I'm an idiot. Trying to cut everything so close in this is rough. Alright, I'll show you how to do that strat in a bit. When he gives you the long delay, you can get a 23 off it. Alright, did I come up with these strats on my own? I came up with most of the strats in this game on my own. There's a few strats that, like the fight before this one, Lisa Hick, Zalad we both came up with the exact same strat. But yeah, Zalad found it. I think he found it a day before I did. So anyway, for this fight here, we're gonna raise his guard and then start with 3 left gutters. For this phase, we're gonna raise his guard, 3 left gutters. After the 3 left gutters, you're gonna hold. You can see there, I held on the bottom left, up, and a face punch. One of the face punches. And as soon as Max starts throwing that face punch, you're gonna just let go of both the buttons. I think you only need to let go of up, but I just let go of both because it's just easier to do that. And you can get a face punch, and then you get a face punch in as well. Like that. So that's what you do for the big refill. I didn't let go of it fast enough. And then you just buffer 2 stars and the fight's done. That's it, you get a 40-second fight, no problem. So this fight back from the top, we're gonna just go 3 right gutters, 2 stars, and see what he's gonna do. Fast hook, dodge twice, star punch, and we get a 21. 1 count, hold start. Alright, 56 refill, but you're not going to know what refill he's getting when you're doing runs for this game. So we're just going to do this. That's safe. Even if he gives you the low refill, doing those 4 punches before your 2 star punches is 100% safe. And you can get a 38.61. That's pretty much the second fastest time you can get. Aside out of getting, if you can get a low refill, you can save maybe 3/4 of a second if you get the lower refill. So let's see if we can get a low refill here. Oh, that's not. I have to start the fight again. I'll show you a faster strat for that phase 1 in a second. I should have made a save station right there to illustrate. To get this properly. Alright, here we go. 48 refill. So this is how I distinguish between getting the 48 and 56. You're gonna do the same thing, but once you get the first gut punch off, I stop looking at the fight. I start looking at Jeo Knight's HP bar. Once I get the first gut punch, I'm looking at the HP bar, and I'm looking at where his health is. And I see that it stops. It never reaches this marker right there. Never reaches it. That means I know he got the low refill. So you're gonna land 3 left guts, and then wait a tiny bit, just a tiny bit. And then two star punches, and you can get a 36. Yeah, that's right. I think 36. Yeah. I think the fastest I've got is a 36.82, which is probably if you just a bit slow on this left gut, but then you just start buffering these. Anyway, and that's that fight. This game is not too difficult at all. It might seem difficult, but overall it's easier than Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. So this fight from the top again. 3 right guts, 2 stars. Dodge the fast hook, and 2 stars. He gets up on a 1 count, we just buffer a star punch. We're going to raise his guard. I'm looking at the health. It reached that marker right there. I know he's giving me the big refill. That means I have to throw that one face punch in after the 3 gut punches. So yeah, actually you save more than 3/4 of a second. You save about nearly 2 seconds with the low refill. Also, it should be noted that if the counts he gets up on, this guy can only get up on a 2, a 5, or a 2, a 5, or an 8 count. If he gives you a 2 or a 5 count, the refill is random. If he gets up on an 8 count, he's automatically getting the big refill. So if he gets up on an 8 count, you don't even have to look at his health bar to optimize the time. Phred's is the coolest stack. I wonder how much time he put into it. Yeah. He probably put a lot of effort into this game. It's pretty balanced, like most fights. I think he tried to make every fight, apart from I don't know, the very first fight of this game, harder than what they are in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. But we'll find at the end of the tutorial, on the very last fight, we will see the error of his ways. In a fight that looks like it could be maybe 2 times harder than Mike Tyson, becomes easier than Great Tiger. Anyway, did I restart? Yeah, I paused the wrong. Anyway, from the top, we can do the full circuit here. I'm gonna hit start on new game. First fight. Spoiler. Sorry for the spoilers, but I wasn't there when Sinister revealed the strat. After I PM'd him the strat on Twitch. I remember I watched the VOD for it and I was laughing because Zalad was like, "Have you seen the new strat?" And then Sinister's like, "No, I haven't seen it yet." And then he goes and sees it and reveals it to the chat, and I thought that was so funny. So anyway, so that fight, I didn't even have to concentrate. It's just buffer start twice. There's nothing about that fight that is tough. The hardest part of that fight is actually concentrating to lift your finger off the start button. Alright, so here, 2 right dodges, slight delay, duck. Face punch, star punch. 1 count, hold start. That's phase 2 over. Phase 3, buffer a face punch, star punch. And then we also got world record on this fight. Not too difficult. Alright, later Dave, I'll catch you later. Alright, here we go, first title match. Jeo Knight number 1. Gonna raise his guard, 3 right guts, 2 star punches. Then we're gonna see what he's gonna do. Fast hook, 2 face punches, 2 star punches. One count, star punch. We're getting the low refill, but we don't know that. Pretend we don't know that. So we're gonna 3 left guts. Oh look, he got low refill from his health. Wait a little bit. 2 star punches. Get a 37 or a high 36. And that's the minor circuit or Valor circuit complete. Now one other thing about Jeo Knight is the alternate phase 1 you can do is if he gives you the long delay. If you see he gives the long delay, and he's obviously not going to do it now because I want to show it. Because he's an absolute jerk. Is if you see him give the long delay, he's not going to do it, is he? Screw you. Just give me the long delay. Hey, Jeo Knight. Alright, long delay. So we're a bit slow there. As soon as you see him give the long delay, it caught me off guard. This long delay, we're going to hit a star punch. And then we're going to wait for his next punch. And then, so it's kind of you do the reverse of what you do for the fast hook. When he gives you the fast hook, you land your normal damaged star punch, which is 13, and then you do then you dodge his next attack, which can be a hook or it can be an uppercut for the long delay. And then you counter that twice and then do a star punch. And that was a bit slow again. You have to be really quick on it. Oh, I even got a 22 off that. That's probably the fastest I've ever done that. I think I've only got 23s before. So yeah, the minor circuit in this game is very, very fast. Obviously, I do not have the explanation skills, the caliber of explanation skills that Sinister One does. So if I glossed over anything, now is your time to ask. Q and A. That's not a Q. Q and A. Go. So if there's any questions about this game you want to know, because that's the minor circuit. That's all I've practiced for today. The reason I'm doing this is because I want to beat my PB in this game. So I'm just going to keep running through minor circuit while I answer your questions about this game now. I'm going to be doing, what is the current world record? It is 13 minutes and 34 seconds. I can't remember the decimals. 13 minutes, 34 seconds by me and Pat. I want to lower that to about sub 13:20. That should be doable. I can't even remember where I lost time, but 13:20 should be a really solid run for this game. You don't need to delay that second star punch in phase 1 in that third fight. No. In this, no. So that's a good question. Where's the fight I wanna? So this fight here. No, you just buffer 2 star punches, and they both do max damage. Unlike in if you do that or something similar to Piston Honda 1, your first star punch will do 20 damage, but if you buffer the second star punch, it'll only do 12. And if you wait 4 frames or a bit more, it'll do 16 damage. But in this, you can just buffer the second one and it'll do 20 damage. So yeah, you just buffer that punch away. That's another reason this game is easier. There's a lot more. I don't know. I think the execution is just simpler overall. Overall, the execution is similar. Is simpler, not similar. Well, I guess it's similar as well, but it's simpler. And I forgot to buffer the next star. The way you do with Honda, I mean. Yeah, so like, yeah, you don't need to delay that second star punch. So like, on Honda 1, where you do have to delay it, on this there is no delay. You do not need to delay it. It'll do max damage every time. It'll do max damage provided Jeo Knight's guard is in the right spot, and it should be, I don't see a way you should mess that up. Also, it should be noted that I'm not holding up for those star punches. I don't know if it matters. Oops, that was the wrong phase. I was like, why did that knock him down? Yeah, actually, don't hold up. If you hold up, it'll only do 12 damage. Don't hold up. Just start. That's all you need to do. So with these tutorials, I'm letting my hands do the talking because my explanation skills are atrocious. So what you see in the bottom left is pretty much the execution you need to do for the fight. Bit slow. I guess if you're a bit slow, you can do 4 punches there and then a star punch. Like that's if you get lucky and he doesn't do an uppercut and he gets a hook. And so if your star punch intercepts a hook by accident, you can just do 4 punches instead of 2. and you're safe. But if I did that in a run, I'd probably reset, because you're just losing too much time. I can't lose that much time that early on. There is a link to my I think below the stream there should be a link. I think it's the top one in my achievements section. I think the top one is the world record run, which for some reason has audio, like about like half a second of audio delay, which is annoying. Which I just want a better run than that. I know I can get a better run than that. I got unlucky on a couple of fights. It's a sub 13. Is sub 13 a thing? Yes, I would say yes, because the King Hippo of this game, I'd say your times on him will fluctuate even more than regular King Hippo. I mean, my cutoff for King Hippo of this game is like a 145. Well, last time I was running it, it was a 145. But I've got as low as a 119 in a run. Like a 119, that's like... How many seconds is that? That's like 25 seconds. Saved. I think it was a 119 and I made a highlight of it. And I did it in a run as well. But yeah, you need really good execution and really good luck. You can't 3-cycle him in this game. You need like... It's like a 7-cycle or some crap like that. So yeah, sub 13 is definitely a thing I could see for this game. It'd be... Going for sub 13 in this would probably be like on par with your summoning salt for Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Like luck-wise. I think you'd need the god luck. But at least you don't really need the luck at the end of the run like you do with Tyson. You do need a little bit of luck, but I mean the luck is in your favor for getting a good FAS fight. There's only one way he could screw you over, and he'd have to technically screw you over like three times to really screw you over. Yeah, sub 13, like if you really want to reset on Doc Lewis like a lot, Doc Lewis is the King Hippo fight for this game. I mean, if you really want to reset on him a lot to get a really good run going, yeah, you could get a sub 13. There are a couple of other fights that can just screw you over, like I guess Zelda can screw you over, but I think I made her more consistent. But she can still screw you over. And then I guess who else can screw you over? The Soda of this game can screw you over. Like you can lose 20 seconds. You can do nothing wrong and lose 20 seconds. Like it's unlikely you'd lose 20 seconds, but he's done it to me many times in a run. Who else? The Sandman of this game can screw you over. And I guess if you get really bad luck on the Macho Man of this game, you can get screwed over as well. The thing is with getting screwed over in this game is that you usually have enough stars to handle every situation. Just because you start with 2 stars. And most fights don't have like you can usually get a star on the very first, like at least a random star on the very first punch of every fight in this game, so you're not really star-starved anywhere. But if you want to get good times, if you get star-starved, it's almost pretty much over. But yeah, I can see sub 13 happening. I don't think I'll go for it, unless some really insane strats come out. I came up with most of the strats for this game. once other people start looking at it, they can probably find some stuff. Some consistent, good stuff. This should be a 17 flat. Maybe even a 17.25. I'd almost never reset on this fight unless I got hit by the very first punch. Even if I get a 17.25, I don't really care. And I never really reset. I'm not really resetting unless I like completely screw up a fight, or I'm just like I miss a max damage star or something. As for ILs in this game, I guess there's all the IL records you can go for. None of these strats that I'm showing you will get up for ILs. Apart from like the very first two fights, because you can get the world record time on them pretty easily. And I guess the very last fight you can get a world record if you really want. It's not that hard. You just need a lot of luck. More luck than the safe strat. Alright, I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else for me to tell you about this game, at least for the minor, or even the minor circuit. Let's do another run through just in case. Can you think of anything I've not explained properly, or anything you'd like me to explain again? So I don't know how good my explanation skills are. Should be a 17 flat or a 17.25. That wasn't fast enough. But I would not reset over that. I think I was pretty clear. That's good, Jeo Knight. The clearer I am, the better. Yeah, practicing these 3 fights at the beginning gets you really used to the controls in this game, I reckon. They're pretty... I mean, you're not really doing nothing for any portion of the fight, apart from when you're waiting for them to get up. And even when Jeo Knight gives the long delay, you're really concentrating, because when he gives you the long delay, you can land a star punch in there. I'd say playing this game, if you're having trouble dodging Mike Tyson... Whoops. We got lucky there. I'd say if you're having trouble with this game, trouble with Mike Tyson, fighting Mike Tyson, playing this game really helps with your reflexes. I remember playing this game a lot, and then when I was done with it, it was giving me bad luck, or I was just having not a good day on it. At the end of a stream, I'd go and fight Mike Tyson a bunch of times, and I'd really notice improvement in my dodging. Or maybe that could have been just because I was actually practicing Mike Tyson at the end of every stream, but I don't know. Even before I picked this game up, I was fighting Mike Tyson for about 6 months, and I could not do anything against him. Not do anything good against him, anyway. I was getting round 2 fights, like, maybe every so often. Alright, that's pretty much it. So on the next time for this next fight for this tutorial, which I won't be going over today because I can't remember how to do it. I honestly cannot remember how to do it. This next guy is probably as complicated as Don Flamenco 2. He's probably not as complicated, but he's the most complicated in the run. That's the code you want to use. I don't remember any of the codes for this game, but this guy is a jerk. He can screw you over, but you have to get pretty bad luck. And yeah, he's just very complicated. So I have to go and practice him a lot before I go to the next part of this tutorial. He has random refills. Every star you get against him is random. And then there's more optimizations for like every single amount of stars you have. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff you have to remember. And the times you can get for this fight fluctuate between a 48 and a 101. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time.